Hello, it's Birdy. All right, these are my college years. I went to college for 2 years. I did the 1 year where I worked at the bakery, and now I'm going to college. Now, it starts around when I'm 19. I'm going to turn 20 in the winter, and I turn 20 in the spring, and I go right till the summer in college. Well, not just before the beginning of summer. Then you get 2 months off. Okay, so my college that I'm going to is in Toronto. I'm not going to say the name, but I'm allowed to say the city. And I'm coming from Dorchester. I'm allowed to say Dorchester as well. So I'm in a small town, not very many ghosts in this small town. But in Toronto, there's thousands and thousands of them. I've visited Toronto before, and I felt it and saw them. But now I'm going to live there for about 4 to 5 months. So I'm going to bring some items with me. Now I'll bring silver. I collect coins for a living at the time. That was one of my hobbies. So I bring a lot of silver coins with me, and I'm going to put them everywhere. Now salt is also another deterrent to ghosts, because I want to study. I want to keep the ghosts out of my life when I'm studying and focusing on school. So you get these little salt packages at the fast food places, and I saved all of them. The salt doesn't have to be out straight. It can be in a package. And I got that. And then I got some holy water from church. And then, like a lucky rabbit's foot, other things that represent luck, because you need luck when you're dealing with ghosts most of the time. Remember, ghosts can be 50% bad, 50% good. The really, really bad ones are like in basements and stuff like that. And then as you go higher, like a ground level, those ghosts are pretty okay. They're a little bit better. And as you go higher, the ghosts are even better. So I knew that I'd have to find an apartment in an attic if I could, or off the ground by at least 20 feet. But the problem is, most of the apartments that were high rises were so expensive, and I wanted to get something close to school. So I found an apartment in an attic, and it was nice. And that's where I did my study. And the ghosts that could come up there, if they did get through all my defenses, were good ghosts. And so that's what I was doing in order to succeed in college, because I needed to study and I needed to focus. So anyway, I had the business course, the chef's course, the baker's course, the cook's course, math, a science, and sanitation. And that got split up within 2 years. And I continued. But near the end, I had a friend who, I made lots of friends in college. But, I met the father too. And I met this situation was near the end of the spring or something like that. Can't remember exactly, but the father is missing. He's been missing for like 2 or 3 days. And it wasn't the way he did things. He would come home, he had a job. Don't ask me what he did. I can't remember. I think he was a bricklayer. But it was, work time for him and stuff like that. But he didn't come home for 2 weeks. And so my friend, I had to explain to him that I'm a psychic and that I can see things. Like I'd hardly told anybody about disabilities that I have. But he thought there was something strange about me and odd about me, that way I knew things that were going to happen before they happened. He put it off to luck or coincidence and stuff like that, but I knew. So one time you predict something is maybe a coincidence, twice and maybe a coincidence, 3 times. But if you do it 100 million times, it's not a coincidence no more. But anyway, I had to explain to him. I said, listen, your father is deceased. I don't know what has happened to him exactly, but I deduced that perhaps when he went fishing, something happened. So after the 2 or 3 days missing, you're allowed to go to the police and say you have a missing person. And then he told him, he says, there's someone who told me that he might be on his boat when he went fishing. So they scoured the area from where he went fishing and stuff like that. Sure enough, it took him a day or two and they found the boat. He passed away of a heart attack while he was fishing. Hard for people to believe that I can do things like this, but it's just one of those things that I don't like to admit that I can do. I don't like when people pass away. I really hate death. I wish we could live forever, but God's like, no, that doesn't work. And he explained it to me one time, not at that time when I predicted that or knew that. But with bad, you gotta have good. With up, you gotta have down. Well, maybe not, that's gravity. But you know, you can't have happiness without sadness. You won't know what happiness is if you don't have sadness. You won't know. I still ask God maybe if he can figure out something better. He is the entity of the whole world, like and the galaxy, the universe is it. If anybody can figure this shit out, he can. But anyway, I came back with all my degrees, and I went back to work at the bakery. And that's what happened after college. And I liked my life. It was really good. At this time, I don't think it's a curse anymore. I think it's a gift because I helped my friend get through it and helped him find his father, and passed away nonetheless. But it was something that I thought was good. And yeah, that's it for now, till I get back to myself or you or whoever.